All right, welcome to The Explainer. Go ahead and grab your red string and your thumbtacks because today we are opening up the caseboard on a truly gripping sequence of events. We're launching a full-scale, dramatic true crime investigation into episode 7 of the Fruit Salad Adventures. In this forensic breakdown, we're going to reconstruct the timeline, analyze a shockingly deceptive suspect, and uncover exactly how a seemingly innocent release from police custody was actually the opening move of a devastating snare. The stakes here go from 0 to absolute life or death, so let's get into it. Okay, let's dive right into this. I want to immediately drop you into the heavy, claustrophobic front seat of an unmarked police car. Just imagine the tension for a second. Strawberry has just narrowly avoided being hauled off to a holding cell, but she isn't actually free yet. She's sitting in the front seat, hyper-aware, while the true instigator of the night's chaos, Pateo Keisha, is shoved in the back. Officer Benson, fully believing he's saving a lost soul, delivers this incredibly stern, almost laughable warning to our protagonist. He tells her, leave the life of crime and orgies alone. He tells her she needs to change her life, that Keisha's just going to drag her down. And Strawberry, knowing full well she is completely innocent, realizes this is absolutely not the time to argue. So that brings us to Section 1, the deceptive release, a false sense of security. When the unmarked car finally arrives at the precinct, notice the intense psychological disconnect happening between these two. Officer Benson is delivering a condescending, stern lecture, fully convinced he's giving a criminal a break. He gives Strawberry what he calls her last chance, creating this absolute false sense of security. But look at Strawberry's reality. She's falsely accused, terrified, and honestly just desperately wants to go home. She doesn't even bother correcting him. Instead, she just nods along, giving him her absolute best puppy dog eyes just to secure her freedom. It's a brilliant survival tactic, but it leaves her deeply exhausted. Now, as Strawberry finally walks away from the precinct, the source material gives us this deeply unsettling, almost disorienting detail. As she's walking home, her feet are practically begging for mercy on the concrete, and she suddenly looks down and realizes she's wearing white pumps. Now, why does this matter? Well, Strawberry always wears red pumps. They're her favorite, and they complement her glowing red skin perfectly. The sudden realization that she's walking in unfamiliar white pumps is a really jarring anomaly. It perfectly illustrates her psychological exhaustion. Her reality is so warped from the trauma of the night that even her own clothing feels entirely alien to her. She just brushes it off, thankful to breathe fresh air, but the anomaly remains a glaring sign that things are simply not right. Moving on to Part 2, the informant's leak, a ping in the dark. Strawberry finally reaches the perceived safety of her porch. The nightmare is supposed to be behind her, right? But then, a sharp ping in the dark. Her phone vibrates in her pocket with a message from her mystery police informant. The text she opens completely shatters her feeling of safety. It says, "You missed the main attraction, Brina. Keisha is currently down here putting on an absolute masterclass in acting. Meryl Streep could never." And along with this text is a live, leaked photo from inside the station. Strawberry's momentary peace literally evaporates in an instant. Which leads us into Phase 3, Starchy Tears and Lies, the suspect evaluated. Now, what's really interesting about this leaked image is how it forces us to analyze the suspect's core motive. Keisha didn't just go inside to be booked. She went inside to spin a massive, calculated lie. Notice the terrifying contrast here. We know the actual events. Keisha orchestrated the entire setup at the party, took illicit photos of Strawberry, and then literally fought her. But the photo from the informant? It shows Keisha sitting under a dim lamp, weeping buckets of starchy tears into a crumpled tissue, her hair thrown up in a dramatic scrunchie. She's filling out a formal police report claiming that the bananas and broccoli assaulted her, while carrot and turnip held her down. Her core motive? The total elimination of her rivals while securing absolute legal immunity for herself. You see, this leaked evidence is a total game changer. It fundamentally alters our entire understanding of the suspect. Keisha isn't just a common street thug throwing punches in an alley. No, we are looking at the literal definition of a criminal mastermind. It's a fascinating look at human psychology, honestly. How skilled manipulators use systems of authority to their absolute advantage. She is actively, intelligently weaponizing the police department to serve her own agenda, constructing an ironclad alibi, and simultaneously taking out anyone who could possibly expose her. All right, Part 4, Framing the Salad, Weaponizing the Precinct. And this brilliantly illustrates the immediate and devastating fallout of Keisha's performance. The leaked photo shows the precinct has already acted on her lies. Right behind her weeping performance, newly hung wanted posters are literally plastered on the wall. Her rivals, the broccoli, the bananas, the carrot, and the turnip, are now actively being hunted by law enforcement based entirely on a manufactured soap opera. Keisha has essentially turned the police into her own personal hit squad. Let's move to the timeline and see exactly how this builds, because the rapid escalation of this trap is absolutely terrifying. At 0 minutes, Strawberry gets her false pardon from Officer Benson. By 30 minutes, she receives the leaked photo exposing Keisha's lies. At 45 minutes, those wanted posters are already actively targeting the rival crew. And then at the 60-minute mark, right as Strawberry is trying to process this massive conspiracy, her phone lights up one more time. Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the Juice Factory Ultimatum. So, the crucial point here is the final looming threat of Episode 7. A second message arrives, but this time it's not from the helpful insider. It's from a completely unknown number, and it changes the entire dynamic of Strawberry's survival. The unknown sender warns Strawberry that Keisha might think she's safe inside the station, but the bananas haven't split yet. And worse, the bananas know exactly who set them up. The text ends with a direct, chilling command. If you want to save your own skin before this whole salad gets tossed, meet me at the old juice factory near the health department in an hour. Don't bring the cops. The fallout of Keisha's false report has rippled out into the streets, and now, Strawberry is being dragged right into the dead center of a violently escalating gang war. Which leaves us staring at the case board, utterly gripped by this high-stakes snare. Strawberry thought she had escaped when she walked away from Officer Benson's cruiser in those strange white pumps. But instead, she's walked right into the crosshairs of a massive, explosive underworld conflict orchestrated by a true mastermind. So I leave you with this final provocative question to analyze. When the salad is about to get tossed and a mysterious number threatens your life, do you walk blindly into the juice factory, or do you run? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes sharp, trust absolutely no one, and always double-check the facts. Catch you next time.